Welcome to What is Expected on a Graded Forum in Dr. George Mochocki's classes. I don't care if you're taking me for intro to business, taking me for marketing, taking me for human relations, you take me for a variety of different classes. In all my classes, I will require a graded forums. The graded forums are worth either 5 points, 10 points, 15, or 20 points. What you'll require in on my online classes and sometimes in some of my face-to-face classes in a graded forum is that your first post is to be by Tuesday. So if you're on my online class, you'll do your first post to Tuesday. I'll have several questions for you to respond to get the forum going. You'll respond to those questions on your first post by Tuesday, and while you're in there, you'll also respond to two or three other students, depending on how many. So if you're the first one, you have to wait till later on during the nighttime, or maybe on the next day. My forums. To be a forum means you have to be active, no different than if you were in the business world and you had customers calling you. You can't do all your response to your customers on a Saturday or only one day. You have to be active within the week. So part of the forums are a replacement of the lectures. A part of the forums is to improve your written communication. Part of the forum is to see how well you could help and stimulate other people, motivate them to talk to you and to share ideas other than in a face-to-face, but within a forum. Okay, now forum is a little bit different than the social media, the Twitter or Facebook. In a forum, look at a forum as a conversational, as a business conversation, maybe not the high end, but everyday conversational type of a speech. So the forum shouldn't be longer than maybe one or two paragraphs to the most. If you have a lot of things to talk about and you can't complete everything into one or two paragraphs, post another post. So this way people can respond. Because otherwise, if you the 5 pages, if you have something that's that large, you want someone to read, you'll attach it as an attachment within the forum. But your post should be at least one to two paragraphs. All your posts should utilize some of the concepts and the verbiage, that vocabulary that you've been reading in the book. Your form should be serves as either asking questions. Your forms are to help other people within the forums. So you're getting, this is how you build a relationship. When you build a relationship with a client or different team members, you build a relationship by talking back and forth, not at one time. Hey, I'm George. How you doing? You're my friend, and that's not a relationship. As I come back, hey, could I help you with this? Could I come back? Hey, could you help me with that? And that sharing of ideas and communicating, it improves on your written communication skills, also on your verbal skills. So remember, all my forms, your first post is by Tuesday midnight. You can post Monday earlier because I usually have the forms ready. First post by Monday, and you are required to log in 3 times during, three separate logins, not when I say 3 separate logins. So let's say your first post is on, you log in Tuesday. The next time you got to log in either on Wednesday or Thursday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, or a Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or but 3 different days. And each time you log in, you're required to respond to a minimum of 3 different students. So you ask them a question. Some people ask them questions. Remember, in the forums, I always allow you to create your own threads. So if you are responding to a question and I have you have an option of doing 3 or 4. So in the subject area, you give me a real, just something like the subject area when you send an email, just enough to know what the forum is about, and then you could post it. So if someone else has a similar question, or someone else is looking at the same material you're looking at, they could log into yours and add, and you could communicate. So now you have something similar, no different than when a customer goes on a website, they're looking uh, for a particular item or for a particular response or to a question. Okay, so those are my forms. So now the forms, I'm looking at basically 9 posts within the week. three separate logins. Monday, I'll just use an example. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Saturday will be always your last post at midnight, at noon. So make sure you get it all done. And what happens? So you'll be talking back and forth. I start off the forum. You respond. You always in a forum. You utilize the person's first name, and this is a professional, college level responses. So kind of make sure your communication is at that level. It's more of a professional, not like a tweeter or like a tweet or in a Facebook, but that next level. Utilize this as a learning how to communicate with emails and everything else. First name, proper spelling, make sure you use a capitalization and everything else, not more than a paragraph or two. Okay, so within the forms, every time you're going to go in the forms, the points are different. I want you to look at the rubrics. Now, here's when I look at the rubrics, and you click on the rubrics, what am I looking at? So you're going to get points. The first one, if you're pointed by Tuesday, you get 3 points. This one says out of 20. So the points may be different if it's out of 15 or it's out of 10. So if you respond by Tuesday, you get 3 points. You respond by Wednesday, you only get 2 points out of the 20. So instead of getting a full 20, you only get 19 points. Then I'm looking, do you contribute to the forum by responding to 3 or more students per the login? Remember, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, on 3 different days. So how do you respond to the students? When you log in, I want a little more to say, hey, that's a good idea. You could do supportive. I agree with you because of this. I support of you because of this. How about this site? Or what about this? I don't really agree. Remember, you don't have to agree with everything, but you're not rude when you're learning. You're trying to find out information about what the person is stating. When I'm talking to you face to face, I can look at my facial expression. If I'm lost, I'm going, If I'm not in a forum, you can't. So you have to be communicating a little, at least 2 paragraphs or a paragraph with concepts and asking questions back and forth on different days. And then other people could chime in and you'll be surprised. You learn so much out of the forums. I think you'll learn more out of the forums than you do in some of the face-to-face classes that I have to teach, okay? Now, so you get some points. So you get 4 points on that. This is out of 20. Then mechanics of writing. No grammar. I mean, you could have some errors. Remember, it's like a conversational speech. I sometimes, instead of you, I'll go, you're English second language for me. So I may mess up my subject and my verb, turn around. Those people who's individuals like myself or people that speak other languages than English will always have the verb and the subjects are turned around. But we're speaking English, we're writing in English, we're at a college level. I will always make those corrections. But you shouldn't have that all the time. No caps, everything else. I'm looking at that. Now the reference to the post. Remember, the reference to the post, it means that you're adding some value to the to helping it. Even if it's support, why do you support it? Or even if it's a different idea. Some of the times with the post, you may want to change the other person's idea. You want to understand where they're coming from. They want to understand where you're coming from. No different when you're doing a discussion with a customer or client, or if you're doing something at work with your boss or another colleague. You want to understand. You go back and forth. That's all. So this is what the forums I'm looking for. That you have some reverence to the point, not just saying, "Look, I got my 9 points. Click, click. How you doing? Real nice job. Nice this, and you're done." That's not a forum. And you're not going to go far in the business, and you're not going to learn. Because remember, how you deal with the forums, what I'm making you do in the forums here, by grading the forums, everything else, those are easy points, and those are points to learning, like coming to class. Now, when you're going to take this, you're going to go to a 4-year university, or for your bachelor's, or even for your doctoral. All the forums are going to be very intense. What you're doing here is just a snapshot, just to get you used to into the forums. And plus, a lot of people, it looks like a hard. I got to come in 3 times. You have the smartphones. You're at work. You're someplace else. You can always get into the forum. You don't have to do all 3 posts. 3 posts in a day. So I come in now in the lunchtime. I respond to 1 or 2. I go out. I do something. I log in back again. I respond to 3 or 4, 2 more students. I get I get my 3 to 4 posts there. No, wait another day. Or some people you can post every day and look at it. That's what I like doing. All right. So I'll be active in the forums. I may not respond all the time, but that's the other thing. The other thing is community. Community. Are you asking questions to stimulate somebody else? Remember, when you're using the first name in the forums, it makes it easier for everyone else in the forums to follow along the threads. After a while, they get very intense. Okay, depending on the site. Then I'm looking at critical thinking. Were your responses? Did it make sense? Or are you just giving me a whole bunch of vocabulary because that's what I'd asked for? And I'm looking at what the heck are they talking about? That's what I'm looking at. I want to make sure. So look at the rubrics, and the forms are good learning. It's a good way to learn how to manage time online. It's a good way to responding to yourself. Remember, online courses. If this is your first online class, or this is the first time that you're having a real graded form, your writing and your written communication will just shoot up. So you basically in business, I have to have the face-to-face communication like I'm doing now. Down the line, there's more technology. You could have the Skype inside within the Blackboard courses. But right now, we're just talking about forms. So remember, forms. Look at the rubrics. Make sure you log in the first login by Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever the required is for the class. 3 separate logins at 3 separate days within the week. The forms are turned off. You always get and then you respond to 2 or 3 other students. Hopefully, students that responded to you in the subject area. Put what you're talking about. If the subject hasn't changed and you responded, don't change the subject area. Just keep on going so other people will understand that this is a way of learning. And let's see what I have. Proper grammar. Make sure you use critical thinking. Use the concepts. A paragraph or two, the most. Have other forms so you could develop that communication style, and you should be pretty good. So you should get either the 5 points. Oh, one more thing. A lot of times my form I'll have like a water cooler form. Those are only minor forms worth like 5 points. When you see water cooler, all that means you could just you don't have to do it 3 times back for the whole week. You just go one time, say, I have no question, thank you. You're still responsible to look at the water cooler form and help other students. Or if I respond to somebody else and down the week, you say, I didn't know that happened. If it wasn't a water cooler form, you don't have to respond to that one all the time to everyone, but you're required to read it and see what's going on, so you have a general idea of what other students, other questions they may have that you might have not even thought about. And those are easy 5 points. If you don't respond, say, hey, Dr. George or Dr. M or hey, Doc, whatever you want to call me. Remember to either call me Dr. George, Dr. M, or Doc. Within the class, sometimes if I'm writing a form, you'll see me sign off as Dr. M, and that's basically because it's real quickly, or sometimes I'll sign off as Dr. George. And remember, look at the rubrics, look at the comments. I'll try to be involved in the forms at the beginning, and the rest of the time I'm seeing how you communicate and interact with other people within your team. And this is a virtual team, and that's what the forums are to replace the lectures. You learn just as much, and after the forums, you have any questions, and you'll learn the subject matter. What you'll apply what you've learned. You'll do some other assessments and put that information in the forum, and you'll be surprised. You'll really enjoy the forum. And for your first forum, it's real quick. I just ask you some intro just so you get used to going back and forth and doing a posting. So that's what you need to get the full points in any of my forums online, no matter what course you're taking for me. All my forums are set up the same way. Log in 3 times a week, and each time you log in, a minimum of 3 posts or more, a paragraph or less. Use the person's first name. Always try to strive for proper grammar and proper spelling. And it's a written communication at a college level, and you'll do well. And remember, you'll learn a lot out of the forums, and I learn more from the forums too, because everyone's got a different idea, a different perspective. It's just a different way of communicating. And this skill that you learn here, when you take another online class at the college or at the 4-year level or at a doctoral level, or even talking or taking online courses, distant learning at work, and they make you do communication forums, you're going to have it down to the thing. You're going to look like a star. You're going to say, man, this person could write well. This person has a critical thinking. This person has grammar. This person knows how to get other people to talk within the forums. I think I want to promote this individual. So again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome to the Graded Forums. And I'll see you in the forums in a little while. Bye.